Coach, you always talk about being balanced, and we talked about that in pregame. I don't know how you be more balanced when your running back, his first game goes for 204. Just talk about how that worked out.
Well, I mean, Scotty's a talented kid, and he's running behind a very experienced line. It's just hard when you guys ask, or when anybody asks, you know, what's the plan for Saturday, because you just don't know what they're going to do. You have an idea studying film all week, but you don't always know exactly what they're going to do on game day. And, you know, Texas Tech did some things early on to take away the run game, and they gave us some shots. Later on, they got into some Tampa 2 and started taking away, they started covering. And when you start covering, you give us an opportunity to run the ball. So really, it's the approach taken by the defense that it doesn't really dictate what we do, but it allows us to attack different areas of the field or different aspects of the defense. And so we kind of went back and forth. If you watched through the game, we took a deep shot, we ran the football. You know, we took an intermediate shot, we ran the football. It really was about Jordan Tom making good decisions about where to go with the football, and sometimes that means hand it off. And I think Scotty did a good job with his 16 carries.
So you and Matt both mentioned after the game kind of that y'all wanted to be more efficient in the run game and consistently picking up 4 to 5 yards. Now that you've had a chance to look at it, do you have a better idea of what went wrong and how to do that?
Yeah, I don't necessarily think anything went wrong. We had a good number of 4-yard runs, so we're happy about that. There was some more efficiency there maybe than we thought leaving the game. 2 things we wanted to do in the run game. We wanted to create more explosive runs, which we did, and we do. We want to be more efficient in the runs that are not explosive. So our goal is 4 yards a carry. You know, as Coach Luke said, you get 3.5 yards a carry in the SEC, and you're running the ball pretty good. So 4 yards a carry for us is good. You just hate to have one carry that's 90 yards and the other 9 carries are for 10 yards. You don't want to be efficient when you do it. So we were okay, weren't great, but we were okay on Saturday in the efficiency department there in the run game. But from an explosive run game standpoint, I think we're happy with Scotty and the offense they would do.
Coach, not to be critical of Jordan at all, he put up unbelievable stats in the game, but did you see at the first read maybe not keeping the eyes down the field, breaking out of the pocket and just kind of getting lost during the plays a little bit, or is that just wrong?
Tom had 3 medals in the game. I thought he had 4, but there were 2 plays where he actually made a really good decision, and a Texas Tech defensive player, you know, made a good play. He got in the way of a throw. We pulled it to make a throw, and he did a really good job tracking downhill and getting up in front of his face and forcing him to have to double pump it to AJ. And that was one of the throws where he was open, and we went to trigger it. I think it was number 1 got up in his throwing lane, and so he had to pull it back down and wait to reload it, and it created an incomplete. The thing that I liked that Jordan did was we had a couple plays that last year maybe we might have taken a sack on because we're trying to wait on a 3rd or a 4th receiver, and he understands right now, I think, how to manage a play. And instead of giving up a 6 or 7 yard sack, we hustle to get back to the line of scrimmage for -1. 2nd and 11 is always better than 2nd and 18. You know, and then we threw the ball out of the back of the end zone instead of forcing something. But he had 2 MAs. I think he'd like to have back two throws that we missed. Probably one of them was a touchdown to Marcus Lodge inside the 20-yard line. The other one was to A.J. Brown off of 4 verticals inside the red zone.
Does it just seem like to me, if Jordan has a couple bad plays, he seems to let loose when he throws it deep down the field and gets him in a rhythm again, kind of like a golfer that likes to, step up on the tee and hit it long. Does that get him back in a comfort feeling and getting a rhythm by going downfield?
Truthfully, I don't think with Jordan, I think one of his best assets is his ability just to focus on each individual play. He has a bad day yesterday, it's not affecting today. He has a bad play on 1st down, it doesn't affect 2nd down. It took me a while to learn that about him, but I don't think, I think he could be terrible for 3 quarters, and I don't know that it would affect him with regards to how he focuses in on the first play of the fourth quarter. I just think he's exceptional at being able to, you know, compartmentalize one play to the next, and I don't know that I really need to call or do anything to get him back in the groove. You know, I think he's more disappointed with himself when he misses just one play. You know, and I think that's probably his greatest asset is he can lock in. He's a really good student in between the drives. So when we talk, we have some progressive conversations, and you know, a lot of times he's giving as much input as I am. A lot of, you know, and I've said it before, he'll tell me his mistakes before I tell him. You know, so I'm not really telling him what he's doing wrong. He'll come off the field and say, hey, I missed that. I could have pulled the trigger on it and I didn't. Call it again, I'll get back to it. You know, and it's a very productive and usually positive conversation. And I think if anything, if he does make mistakes early in the game, it's just going to facilitate him getting better, because rarely is he going to make the same mistake twice.
Were there any guys you weren't able to play as much or at all that you would like to play more this week?
I mean, I think anytime you get into a football game, you have an opportunity to play more guys. It's healthy and it's good for you guys, because you're getting younger guys with repetitions and you're getting them play time, and you know, in a scenario where the bullets are flying. So, you know, it would have been great to have seen Elijah play more or get more of our running backs on the field. But games dictate needs, and so, you know, as we go through each game, based on what the situation is going to be, our goal is to try to get guys developed, you know, but we're always going to play who we think is going to help us win the ball game. I mean, that's the task at hand. So I think every situation and every game is different, and you know, when we have an opportunity to play some of those guys, we will.
Any more questions for Coach Longo?
All right, thank you. Have a good one.